What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new commentary video. And as always, we're kicking it old school with some good old Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Before this video gets started, if you would like to submit your own question for these videos, you can do so by finding the link in the description. That's for a Google Form link. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are reading from the Google Form today. So let's get into it with today's question. I was in a relationship where I constantly felt like I was the only one giving effort, while the other person never truly chased me the same way. Even though I've accepted that it wasn't a healthy dynamic and that I deserve mutual effort, I still find myself thinking about them from time to time. I don't necessarily want them back, but a part of me wonders if they ever cared, and if I was just fooling myself. How do you truly move on from something like this? And not just logically, but emotionally. Good little tangent there at the end. But anyways, so yeah, I want to talk about this one today because, yeah, man, that's some real stuff, man. I went through a lot of the same stuff. I dated a girl in my freshman year of college for not very long, but during that time that we did date, I did experience that where I felt like I was the only one putting in effort, and I really was. I was the only one that was really like trying to meaningfully like be a part of that relationship, and it really hurt a lot because I am somebody that deeply does care about the person that I'm dating. I want them to do the same for me. I want it to feel like we are a partnership. That is the point of having a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a husband or a wife or a spouse, whatever, is because the goal is that they are supposed to be there to lift you up. And unfortunately, there are going to be people that will not do that. And I will tell you that when I dated this girl, I really just had to end things, you know? And it was like literally, I think we were just looking for different things at the time. I think she was looking for something more casual, and I was looking for something serious. We were at different points in our life. I was a freshman in college. She was 21, I think. She was a little older than I was. I was 18 at the time. And she clearly wasn't looking for what I was looking for. And the truth is that you never really kind of move on from that. The thing is that you are going to look at your next couple relationships in kind of a skeptical way. And I think that it sucks when you realize that, and that like that you're going to never really trust a girl the same way when she tells you that. And the truth is that sometimes even now in current relationships that I get in or whatever, just because of past relationships, it's really tough to move on from that. And it gets easier as time gets on. But the thing is that I think that the number one tip that I can give you to work through not having to sort of feel this way all the time is just find a girl, right? And build a meaningful connection. And I know that's kind of oxymoron, but like the truth is that just find somebody to build a connection with. Friends, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. But the point is that you need to build more connections. You kind of need to learn how to trust again. And I think it's really important, too, that as you kind of work through this, is that you lay that out with future partners or future friends that you've been through this and let them know, like, hey, look, this to me is super important. I really need you to give me the same effort that I'm giving you because I care about you. I want to be a part of your life, and I need you to let me into that life. And it is truly, really hard to express that to people. I understand that. But for me, what I found is that that after I went through that relationship, I really felt that I had a hard time connecting with people. I would go on a handful of dates after that, and I just could not connect. And I truly felt kind of shitty, you know? And the reason for that was because I thought, does this person not really like me? Like, what am I doing wrong while I'm talking to this person or trying to understand this person that they're not giving me the same effort? And it's like, it's draining. It's really draining. But I feel like the older that you get, the easier it is to handle. Because the thing is that you need to learn to become self-reliant. And you need to learn to respect yourself, right? I think that if you are hanging out with a girl for the first time and she's on her phone constantly, fucking leave. Leave. Like, genuinely. If she clearly is not showing interest from the start, you need to fucking leave. And let me tell you, we're not talking about a 4-month rule here. I hear this bullshit all the time where it's like, you can't pretend to be somebody that you're not after 4 months. And I don't think that shit's real. I think that you could put on a fake face for as long as you fucking want, right? I don't know. I'm not a fucking psychologist, but the truth is that I think that when people say this type of shit, that like, he changed after 4 months or she changed after 4 months is bullshit. What actually happened is that you were in love with the person that you thought that you loved, but that person didn't exist. And that's what happened here, man. Unfortunately, you thought that you loved this girl and you thought you loved who she was, but turns out you don't. Turns out that she's kind of a fucking shitbag, right? That doesn't actually care about your time, doesn't care about your emotions, and frankly, maybe never did. And there's guys like that too, that don't care how their girlfriend is, don't care. What they only care about is that they're sleeping with somebody, right? They only care that they have a physical connection with somebody. And that's a really, really shitty way to live. You should never have to live in this world where you feel like I only connect with somebody physically, right? I preach about how I think that's really shitty, right? Like for men and women. Like I'm relatively anti like hookup culture and shit like that because it's not good for your mental health. That's not what we were designed for, And I think that the real thing that you're going to learn is that like you're going to just start noticing signs from now on when you hang out with a girl. I'll tell you what, when I had a relationship like that, I was very quick to notice when girls didn't really fucking care. You kind of wake up to bullshit, I think is the best way to put it, is that this is going to be a great learning experience for you. Because guess what? Every single guy at some point has dealt with some stupid shit like this. Every single guy has been out with some fucking girl that thinks that she's better than everybody, that thinks that she doesn't need to put in the emotional effort because she thinks that she's the prize. And you should treat her like the prize. That's not my argument. My argument is that you should treat her like the prize, but she shouldn't have the expectation that she is the prize. All right. Like you need to just like learn to say, fuck these relationships. And I've learned to say that. All right. Like when you realize that somebody doesn't fucking like care for you the same way that you clearly care for them, just fucking end it. There's no point in sticking around and fighting for somebody that clearly does not have the same respect for you. And the thing is that I know that you're feeling this way right now. But the thing is that once you get into a relationship or two from now on, you're just going to feel slightly better every single day. Like when I have had situations like this, I feel like shit for a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months, right? Depending on the length of the relationship. But the thing is that once you kind of like grow out of this feeling that you still want her or this feeling like thinking about her, you just kind of naturally, it's like your brain retrains itself to understand, to look out for those cues and those warning signs. And like I said, some of those warning signs, does she care about her phone more? Is she, and like one of the things that I think that you really need to look at when you're speaking to a woman for the first time, or man, it doesn't matter. I don't want to make it seem like I fucking hate women, but like, let's say for example, that you are like on a date with somebody and like, she just kind of seems like she's more interested in having somebody by their side because of what, society has taught us. Run from that shit. The thing is that there should be some level of obsession in a relationship, like in a healthy way. Like there should be a sort of, thing where you guys want to be together a lot, especially at the start. And I don't mean physically, I mean emotionally. Like there should be this connection where it just feels better to do things with that person in a healthy manner, of course. I'm not saying that you should be like obsessed to the point where you can't go a day without each other. But I do mean is that there should be some level of obsession with one another. That is healthy. And if you're not getting that within like the first couple months, especially after things like I love you is said, or like you guys are getting intimate physically, or you're like meeting each other's families, stuff like that, and you're still not seeing that, it's time to fucking run. Like genuinely, it's time to run. I personally have had to end relationships like that, where I've just realized this person isn't in love with me. There's aspects of me that they love. They love my work ethic. They love like how funny I can be. They like certain aspects of it, but they don't love me for me. And that's fine. But you just need to realize that and get the fuck out of Dodge. But like when it comes to getting over this shit, it genuinely just takes time. Like I'm not even like, trying to speak from like a philosophical perspective. It just does. It's almost like a physical wound. Emotional wounds are like physical wounds where they take time and you need to take time to rest. Don't jump in a relationship. Don't go and hook up with people. Build real connections with people. And I'm not saying hop in a relationship. I'm talking about making new friends or just building upon the friendships that you already have. And understand that there are shitty people out there. And just because there's a shit woman that ruined this relationship for you, that does not mean that they are all like that. That does not mean that they are all shitty. What it means is that you are going to be better and you're not going to be a shitbag to the rest of the world. You are not going to ruin other people's lives. You're not going to ruin other girls' experiences. You're not going to do that. You're instead going to stand up and tell yourself, I can be better and I'm going to be better for my future relationships. And, even when a girl ruins your life like this, that doesn't mean that you need to ruin girls' lives. Like, it just means that you need to learn to be better. And it just means that you need to provide something to somebody to prove to them why you should be in their life. And that's the real big piece of advice that I have for you today. So I want to say thank you for your question, man. Really do appreciate it. Really good question. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, there is a link to submit your own questions in the description. There's also a link to join our Discord if you're interested. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I am out. Peace.